TwT fans, it is so good to be back on this July 10th, 2025. And of course, I am so happy to be alive. This is Talking with Topher, episode 275. I can't even believe I've recorded this many episodes. Oh my God, this is so wild. But before we get into anything, let me start off the way I always do, by saying thank you. That's right. Thank you to all of my subscribers. You're what's keeping me coming back week after week. If you're new, remember to subscribe. If you want an opportunity to tell your story or be a guest on this podcast, talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. And then, of course, don't forget about the Linktree link. It's the only way and the easiest way to find everything TwT, and it's right there in the description below the video, along with all of today's links that we discuss in the pod. All right, and now with all the housekeeping out of the way, let's get into today's podcast. What is up, everybody? It is a crazy time to be alive. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Oh, my God. What is going on in the world today? I will have to say that I believe this is all by plan. Is this not planned out? Does this not seem like we are in the middle of something that is exactly the way they want it to be, right? So Israel is now bombing Iran. Iran is retaliating against us. And I know it's July 10th. I don't even know what is happening today. I hope by right now we have completely stopped all the bombing. Now, I am recording today, June 24th. I'm putting that out there. Don't do it normally, but I'm doing it today because of what is going on. And you're going to see a lot of glitching, lights flashing, all the ACs are on in the house, and, this old wiring in the house is crazy. So if you're watching the video, you will see the screen flash in and out. It's just my house. I can't do anything about it unless I rewire the whole thing. So, can I believe that none of this is being scripted? I don't. I think there's something more here. But the satellite photos I thought were interesting. Let me see here.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight, the world waits as Iran vows to retaliate after the United States joined Israel's air campaign to destroy the Islamic Republic's nuclear program. 3 enrichment sites were targeted, some hit with 30,000-pound bombs. The damage visible from space. This is the Fordow site, built hundreds of feet underground. President Donald Trump tonight now suggesting support.
Everybody see that? Let me rewind that for 1 second. Holy shit, dude. Okay, so this is what it looked like before, right? You can see the roads. You can see this. There's something over here, some type of facility. So it's surrounding. And look, you can see the road cuts in here, and then it goes boop, underground. So there was a giant facility underneath this. That's so crazy, bro. And then this is what it looks like now. So you can see the facility over here is toast. There is a enormous crater right here. This road is fucking destroyed. Wow, dude. That's crazy, man. The amount of destruction we can cause in a matter of moments. You can see some type of debris over here. Maybe the, it could have been unearthed. Yeah, this could have blown so sky high that it unearthed whatever was underneath there. Wow. Anyways, let's continue watching this video.
President Donald Trump tonight now suggesting support for regime change in Iran. What he did want this weekend was a surprise. CBS's Charlie Daggett.
I don't know about anybody else, but regime change does not really always change anything. So I don't know about this either, because how many times have we tried this? How many times have we said, oh, this is a bad guy, get him out of there? Regime change. What has happened to every country that has a regime change? It's like a failed state. They're all failed. It's terrible.
Tarika, it was an operation that involved decoys, deception, and some of the most advanced weaponry in the world in what Pete Hegseth, the defense secretary, called an incredible and overwhelming success that obliterated Iran's nuclear capabilities. After conducting the largest B-2 strike in history, the stealth bombers returned to Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri this afternoon. The B-2s led a force of more than 125 American aircraft in an operation the Pentagon dubbed Midnight Hammer. 7 B-2s took off at midnight on Friday, headed east for Iran's nuclear production sites, while 7 more flew west on a decoy mission to the Pacific. It was a B-2 head fake, Joint Chiefs Chairman Dan Kane said, to maintain tactical surprise.
A deception effort known only to an extremely small number of planners and key leaders here in Washington and in Tampa.
The B-2 strike package flew 18 hours to their targets in Iran, refueling multiple times along the way. Before entering Iranian airspace, the B-2s were joined by F-22 and F-35 fighter jets to escort them in a tightly timed maneuver requiring exact synchronization.
The lead B-2 dropped 2 GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator weapons on the first of several aim points at Fordo. As the president stated last night, the remaining bombers then hit their targets as well.
A third nuclear site was hit by 24 Tomahawk missiles fired from a submarine offshore.
The Tomahawk missiles being the last to strike at Esfahan to ensure we retain the element of surprise throughout the operation.
Satellite images of the deeply buried production facility at Fordow shows holes indicating where the penetrating bombs hit, but damage assessment will take time.
In total, U.S. forces employed approximately 75 precision-guided weapons during this operation. This included, as the president stated last night, 14 30,000-pound GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrators, marking the first ever operational use of this weapon.
Officials don't think a single shot was fired toward the American aircraft on the way in or out, as if Iran's air defenses never saw them. The Iranians have vowed to retaliate and that the attack would have everlasting consequences. The president may not want an open-ended conflict. The Iranians may disagree. Are you prepared for a protracted war?
Anything can happen in conflict, we acknowledge that, but the scope of this was intentionally limited. So Iran, in that sense, has a choice.
We were told that U.S. troops across the region were not.
That is insane. Iran has a choice, everybody. Holy shit. Yeah, they do. Oh, man. All right. So I guess I do have some faith in our military, but at the end of the day, man, I don't know. This is not good. I think it's all a setup. I think it's going exactly how Netanyahu is planning. This guy is a Yahoo, everybody. He is. I don't know. Just looking at these videos and what these pictures, actually looking at these pictures and seeing what these things can do, dude, we do not want anybody to get pissed off enough to just start dropping shit on us, man. It is so scary today, and the amount of firepower that we have, it's wild, you know? I kind of compare it to like the drug game. Drugs have gotten so out of hand. They're so crazy, so potent today that they're actually dangerous. Well, these bombs, they've done the same exact thing over the course of 30, 40, 50 years. So if we made our drugs so potent that like one little fucking thing can kill you, I mean, we've got enough firepower on this planet to eliminate everything we know today. And that is probably what's got me the most worried. This is another reason I brought this up, because I found this video very, very interesting. And I mean, maybe there is a little bit of truth to this. And maybe that's why Netanyahu doesn't want them around anymore. I don't know. I get it. They're not supposed to have nuclear weapons. Okay. But look at this video. It's wild. This is a wild thing.
This can't be coincidence.
The book of Revelation, especially the first 4 horses of the apocalypse. The question is, why these 4? Why these colors? There is information contained in the colors. God is not trying to confuse us, and he's not just throwing colors out there. There must be a rational justification for why he picked these 4. Take a look at your screen. What do you see? Here's the symbol, the national symbol of next door neighbor to Israel, Jordan. What colors do you see? Can you help me here? White, red, black, and green. And then if you go next door, inside the territory of Israel, there is the Palestinian, symbolized by that flag. What colors do you see on the national flag of Sudan? Let's go to Kuwait. Let's go to the United Arab Emirates. What colors do you see? All right, well, let's just go to Libya because it could just be coincidence here. Okay, let's go to Afghanistan. What do you see? Let's go to Syria. What do you see? Let's go to Iraq. What do you see? I wonder if God has successfully communicated.
Right? Is that not wild? I mean, I don't know. I don't believe in God, right, everybody? So I don't know if those colors were symbolizations of God. And these countries are actually God's countries. I don't know. But if this is true, right, Israel is the demon, the bad guy. He just happens to be powerful, more powerful than them. But maybe if they weren't all fighting each other, maybe they would be able to come together to stop the evil Israel, right? But if this is even remotely true, it's wild to think about that they are wiping out areas that God said were sacred in a sense. And I might be a little off on that, but I mean, black, green, white, and red. Maybe. But again, what is happening today is terrible. It's disgusting. And we as humans will never learn from our mistakes. I just don't believe we will. We get heated, we drive on emotion, and then after we do something, we sit there and we think about it, and then we realize what a mistake we've made, or, yeah, I made a mistake, but it's fine. It's fine. Whew. Crazy friggin' world we're in right now. Okay, so check this out. This is wild, everybody, and I don't know how real this is. Like I say on every podcast, a lot of this stuff is AI generated. A lot of this stuff is clickbaity. But if this is remotely true and we are headed in this direction and Toyota is going to be the first one to bring us there, I think this is absolutely wild because if we could pull this off, I've always thought that this would be the best engine ever. Look, water engine. A water engine made by Toyota. Bye-bye, Tesla. I don't know if this is true. They're showing 2 different types of engines. I'm wondering if this is their gas engine. I'm not sure. And then this is their new hydrogen engine. But whatever they're thinking about doing, this has gotten people killed. Like, let me read the caption for everybody. In a move that will shake up the global auto industry, Toyota has just unveiled the water-powered engine powered by hydrogen created through electrolysis, emitting only water vapor, no lithium, no charging stations, just pure disruption. With this bold move, Toyota isn't just competing with EVs, they're declaring the end of the battery era. Read now and comment your thoughts. Share if you think EV game has changed forever. So I personally would have to say that yes, if we come out with a hydrogen engine, the electric is toast. It's toast. And I just think that this actually coming to light is something that is very, very dangerous Because how many people have died with the attempt of making a hydrogen engine, right? I was already bringing up the fact that fossil fuels are not fossil fuels anymore. They are literally in the ground all the time. It's fake. There's no fossil fuel. It's a self-regenerating thing that our planet has. And they charge us too much for it. And they know that it's replenishing, which is why they said it was scarce. Well, what are they going to do if someone actually releases the hydrogen engine and says, hey, look, we don't need batteries. We don't need lithium. After all the lithium deposits we found, after the lithium deposits that they acquired from hurricanes devastating areas, right? After all the work they've done to accumulate the land that they needed to make batteries in America, these guys are going to turn around and be like, hey, you can run off of water. We don't need lithium anymore. Leave it in the ground, right? What's that going to lead to? I'll tell you exactly what it's going to lead to. It's going to lead to our next crisis, everybody. What's the next crisis, you say? What could it be? What could that crisis be? Could it be water? Could it be water? Water could be our next crisis, everybody. What a coincidence. And wow, what perfect timing somebody has. Oh, is it the World Economic Forum? No way. The one group that wants nothing but control? What? And now all of a sudden, as a hydrogen engine is coming to the front, and what? We can't just kill them now. We can't just be killing people anymore. So now what are we going to do? Well, we'll do the next best thing. Come out with a hydrogen engine, we're going to have a water crisis. Here we go.
And globally, did we solve that? Like, did we actually manage to vaccinate everyone in the world? No. So highlighting water as a global commons and what it means to work together and see it both out of that kind of global commons perspective, but also the self-interest perspective, because it does have that parallel. It's not only important, but it's also important because we haven't managed to solve those problems which had similar attributes. And water is something that people understand. You know, climate change is a bit abstract. Some people understand it really well. Some understand it a bit. Some just don't understand it. Water, every kid knows how important it is to have water. When you're playing football and you're thirsty, you need water. So there's also something about really getting citizen engagement around this and really, in some ways, experimenting with this notion of the common good. Can we actually deliver this time in ways that we have failed miserably other times? And hopefully we won't keep failing on the other things, but anyway.
Absolutely terrible, dude. So because everybody understands water, when we have a water crisis, everybody will get it. They'll all get it, everybody. That's what's going to happen. So if we call it a water crisis, everybody gets it. Because we can't keep leaning on global warming anymore because nobody gets it. No, it's not that we don't get it, you dumb. Okay? It's not that we don't get it. We get it. We get global warming. I understand global warming. I understand the planet warming up. I understand carbon footprint. You have made it very easy to understand these things. What I don't understand is why they keep lying about everything. Right? They lie about everything. Well, our wind turbines don't disrupt anything. Our this doesn't disrupt anything. All the nuclear bombs that we've dropped over the course of however many decades did not disrupt anything. The bombs that we just dropped on Iran, that didn't change anything. Didn't change anything, everybody. It did not blow apart rock, destroy land, create a crater that never existed, completely obliterate anything that was living underneath the ground. No. All we did was destroy structures. We didn't change the planet at all. Bullshit. I don't know why this is so hard for them to fucking get. Because all they want to keep doing is tell us how much we don't get, right? So why don't you fucking get it? Here's what I got for you. You have changed the planet so much with bombs and development and construction and all of the things that have been done to this planet by our governments and our elected officials and the infrastructures that we have created. All of that, plus bombs dropped, wars, explosions in the ocean, and even dropping bombs on Iran weeks ago. That all changes the environment and the planet as well. So, you can say that my car has been changing and I've got some giant carbon footprint. Okay, cool. What you can't say is that I'm the only one that's doing it, right? We're the only ones. I don't know how to express it any more than this because it's like the message gets lost. But it's a collective, everybody. It's a collective. They are at fault for changing the environment. We are at fault for using the things that they provide for us. That ruins the environment. And yes, the globe itself is actually changing. So it's everything all together, all at once. The thing that I don't get is that you keep telling us it's my fault, or you keep telling us it's our fault. That's the problem I have. I don't have a problem understanding global warming. That's not difficult. It's very fucking easy. It's very easy to figure out global warming. What I want to know is, why won't you add everything else in and then divide it or something so that we're all equals in this? But instead, it's always point the finger, you people need to stop going out and shopping. You need to stop building your carbon footprint. You're the ones ruining the planet. The World Economic Forum has just spoken. You know what I mean? Fuck you people. Is this guy the demon of Bohemian Grove? Dude, these mega church fucking priests are just the worst, and this guy is the absolute worst. I despise these people. They should all have to get in planes with people always. You're not going to pay taxes. You shouldn't be buying jumbo jets. When you're doing a construction of a mega church, we shouldn't find money in the fucking walls. These people are corrupt, disgusting, and they should have to pay taxes and travel with the common folk is what I think. Because it's just so gross, and this is probably one of the biggest reasons I absolutely hate religion. Look at this smug look on this piece of shit's face. Terrible.
Suspecting that the ritual voice of Bohemian Grove is the pastor Kenneth Copeland. Watch this.
All mortal wisdom, all Bohemia, we beseech thee, grant us thy counsel.
Today, for he has anointed me to preach. He has anointed me to heal. He has anointed me. Today, there's coming a one.
Oh, wow.
Yes, like Moses of old. There's calm. Oh, there's calm and one. Oh,
Look at this fucking crazy guy.
what? Say what? We know your mama. We know your daddy. No, they didn't. They didn't know he did. That was the problem. Yeah. I'm preaching.
Why is a pastor hosting a ritual?
What the fuck?
Because.
Dude, I mean, I don't believe in coincidences. So he's the one out there in Bohemian Grove in the white cloak, leading them all. I mean, I don't not believe it. You know what I mean? This guy is a demon, dude. He is not a good person. These people are not good people. Any of those mega churches, any of those priests, they are not good people. That's all fake. That is all, what's the word I'm looking for? It's all acting. It's all a facade. It's all a facade, everybody. That's absolutely disturbing. This guy is fucking twisted, and I do not like him. Look him up. Look him up. He is a piece of shit, dude. Piece of shit. Now, I like to kind of, look, I'm not a big believer, but I think there's something to the simple fact that, I mean, some clarity on the Freemason, and I guess it was something in the Bible. There's a Masonic Bible. I've never heard of it, but it is very interesting to me.
This is a Masonic Bible, and inside this Masonic Bible, there is a structure or plan of the orders of Freemasonry. And, you know, it's really interesting that in this structure, they include the Knights Templars. Jonathan Rumi says that he is a Knights Templar.
I'm wearing a mantle and a cross with a little crown on it, a knight's cross. 5 years ago, I was knighted by the order, the Sovereign Military Order of the Temple of Jerusalem. I lost my mind there for a second. Essentially, the Knights Templar, which is what that is.
If you don't know who the Knights Templar is, look at the structure of Freemasonry. The Knights Templar is literally the top step. It is on par with a 33rd degree Freemason.
So Blavatsky said that the modern versions of the Templars were actually inspired and influenced by the Jesuits to try to Christianize what the Templars actually believe. And of course, especially those flavors that are connected with Freemasonry.
Now they are running the world's largest, most viewed Christian entertainment of all time. That is alarming.
What? That guy was saying that he was like the top of the Freemasons? Who is that guy? I don't even know, dude. But that was in a Masonic Bible. These levels of these Freemasons, which, isn't that part of the ceremony we just watched? Are those not Freemasons too? Isn't that all the same? And if that's true, then we rewrote shit and took this out so nobody would know. And that's why the Bible changed. The Bible didn't change because it needed to. The Bible changed because they needed it to. They needed to fit their narrative. Again, going back to it's just a story. But you can see right now where they edited it to make the truth work for themselves. And this is not an uncommon story. Check this out.
And kept the most important truths to themselves. Watch this.
In the Bible that you have today, the King James Version, John 16:23-24, what you have is the condensed version. You have the edited version. The edited version looks like this. Whatsoever ye ask the Father in my name, he will give it to you. Hitherto have ye asked nothing in my name. Ask, and ye shall receive that your joy may be full. This is the edited version. This is so amazing to me because they took out the two sentences that tell us how to ask. Now here's the piece that was edited. Here is what was lost. Look at these two very powerful sentences. Ask without hidden motive and be surrounded by your answer. Be enveloped by what you desire, that your gladness be full. Look at what it's saying.
If everyone understood what was really in the Bible, then they wouldn't be able to control us, which is why they edited and kept the most.
Ha 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 ha. I told you, everybody, I do not believe in coincidences, and I do believe in them writing their own narrative that we are all supposed to gobble up. We're supposed to gobble it up, everybody, like it fucking means something. I'm telling you. Dude, there shouldn't have been so many rewrites. There shouldn't have been a lot of things. Nobody's rewriting these things for good. They're rewriting them because they don't want you to know stuff. Wild. Wild, dude. Doesn't that one piece make so much more sense when the parts that were taken out of it were put back in? It does. Like I said, I'm not a religious person, but somebody's always hiding something. And I've always thought of these things as just some type of history, not really stories per se, but they have turned into stories of a narrative that paints a truth that is not true, you know? Oh, man, it's time to wake up right now. Let's see what Oprah's got to say, everybody. What has Oprah got to say?
Somebody you respect or maybe even love. And it feels good. I mean, if you're 7 years old and somebody, which I was trying to say this to my friends who had children, you're 7 years old and someone is stroking your penis, it feels good. Right. Even though you don't have a name for what that is, it feels good. And when I first said this years ago, people were like, you're crazy, because everybody wants to believe it's like sexual assault and you're being thrown up against the wall and you're being raped. And I have said for years, if the abuser is any good, you won't even know it's happening.
Oprah legitimized the notorious sex criminal Joe Teixeira, a.k.a. John of God, as a miraculous faith healer, one who could cure cancer, giving him international recognition. Joe Teixeira is now serving 19 years in prison for the rape of 4 women. He is facing additional cases related to several sex crimes, including keeping teenage women as sex slaves in underground mines, forcing them to have his children, and selling their babies internationally.
What? Holy fuck, dude. I'm so sorry, everybody. I did not watch this video. Holy shit. Are you kidding me? She backed up a priest and was like, well, it's not rape, you know. It's not rape at 7. No, it feels good. If he's really good at what he does, it feels good. It's not rape. What? This world is fucked. It's fucked. How is it even possible? And I know, because you can tell by her weight, that this is like the mid-90s. Because that's when she was fat, she was popular, she was at her show and stuff. She didn't lose weight until like early or late 2000s, I think. And then all of a sudden she lost the weight and it was like this woo reveal. I've always thought Oprah was evil. I think she had a hand in the fires. I think that any land that she buys that was devastated, she might have had a hand in it. I think she is one of the evil people on the planet. Like her and Hillary hang out. You know what I mean? That type of fucking evil. This is absolutely disturbing and disgusting. I was not ready for it. And Jesus Christ. And again, a religious person. Where do they usually... I'm surprised he's serving 19 years, but he's probably not part of the Catholic Church, so they couldn't just send him off to the Vatican to go with the rest of them. You know what I mean? Like, if we were really going to bomb something, shouldn't we be taking out the Vatican full of all those people? You know what? Maybe she needs to be added, because if she condones something like this, the people that condone it are just as bad, if not worse, than the people that do it. You know what I mean? Oh, whew. That one took me by surprise, everybody. Like I said, I do not check out all my videos all the time. Woo, that was a ride. All right, so let's check this out here. James O'Keefe was raided by the FBI, everybody. This is, I mean, we are not... we have no privacy left.
What were they really trying to do?
What were they really trying to do?
They were really trying to get inside my cell phone because people in the government come to me with information, which as a reporter I have a right to receive, and they don't like that.
Of course.
They bang on the door, and it's the loudest pounding. You know it's the feds. You just know. And I go to the door. I'm like, I'm opening the door. And then they open. They put me in handcuffs. I think I'm under arrest. They say, no, this is a search warrant. I say, I want to speak to my lawyer. I say over and over again, I want to speak to my lawyer because I learned I was arrested 10 years prior. Don't talk to the FBI. Just don't, even if you're innocent. They say, would you like to use the iPhone on your nightstand? I said, yes. And then I unlock the phone because I have to call my lawyer.
Get out
And the moment that I unlock my phone, they snatch the phone. Not get out of here.
Holy shit.
They snatched the phone out of my hand because I unlocked the phone, and then the FBI agent, like almost to torture me in front of me, he goes to the settings and he changes the settings to make it not go to sleep.
Wow.
Yes. And then they put the phone in an evidence bag. Now the FBI has access to all of my signal messages. Do you know what's in my signal messages?
Oh, fuck.
All the people in the government that come to me with information.
Holy shit, dude. Okay, so if you are getting arrested by the FBI or the police and they ask you if you want to use your phone, you say, no, let me use your phone. Give me your phone. Give me your phone right now. I'm calling my lawyer. Nah, my phone's dead. My phone's dead. When they hand it to you, you throw it at a fucking wall and shatter that bitch. Nope, sorry, I can't use it. It's dead. I want to call my lawyer. That's what I'm going to do. Fuck them, dude. That's crazy, bro. Fuck them. God, that makes me so angry. How are they allowed to do that? How are they allowed to rip it out of your... Oh, because they had a search warrant. And I bet you the only thing they were there for was the fucking phone. Did they read the search warrant to them? I don't think they have to. They don't have to tell you what they're searching for because then you would have the opportunity to hide it. So how much you want to bet? It was literally to just get the phone because they wanted what was ever on the signal messages, which is absolutely wrong. He's right. As a reporter, he has every right to any of those messages and that information. But when the FBI and the higher up agencies, you know, don't want you to know something, this is what happens. So, lesson learned. Man, that's crazy. Like, I always knew you want to shut your phone off because they can't ask you to put in your password, your PIN, whatever. They're not allowed to ask you to do that. Like, if they grab the phone and it's locked, you do not have to unlock it. Which is why whenever you get pulled over, you should shut your phone off immediately. Just shut it off. Because then you have to turn it back on and it will automatically go into lock mode. Therefore, they have no access to it. But if you say, I want to call my lawyer, now I'm going to ask for a different phone. I'm not using my phone. Any phone but my phone. Just give me a phone. You have to allow me to call my lawyer. Then arrest me, bring me down to the station, and I'll use the phone there. Yep. Shit, dude, that's crazy. All because they felt that information that he had no right to. And that is fucking wrong, everybody. Because if anything is true today, whistleblowers are the best people on the planet. People who report truth today are better than anybody else. The only people that suppress this shit are the people trying to hide it from us. They're the bad guys. So, sorry, FBI, you know, you're the bad guy in this. You're the bad guy in this. What information did he have that you did not want us to find out? I don't know. Could it have been something like this? Dude, this is wild. I know. We're having a fun ride right now. At least I am. Look at this shit, man. Miami School District begins serving lab-grown meat from cafeteria kitchens, April 27th, 2025. It looks gross. Although it was approved by the FDA, students had no say in the switch, which is bullshit. The parents should have been involved. Officials say it's sustainable. Parents say it feels like a science experiment, and you go with your feelings, everybody. Go with your feelings. Yeah, it's a fucking experiment. Do we really want them experimenting with your children, with this garbage that they are going to try and make us all consume? Because why? Because we can do this. It's the same thing, and now we don't have disease. We wouldn't have had disease in the first place if you guys learned how to fucking clean up the goddamn facilities and make it better. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, right. You lowered the guidelines, you polluted the planet, and you got the fucking animals sick. Oh, but you're not gonna sit there and take blame for that? Oh, wait, and that didn't change the environment at all when those rivers and water beds and everything else were soaked in this animal's shit and piss. But that didn't change the environment either, did it? But don't worry, we're going to make a fix to the problem that we caused by giving your kids something that we say is going to be great for everybody. And we all know every time the government or anybody in charge tells us that it's good for us, well, it is, right? It's so good for me. Everything that you have ever said that is good and is going to help me, it's all been true. It's just, I mean, if the FDA approved it, I mean, we should hand over fist just start loading the schools up with this stuff, right? Because the FDA said it's good to go. I give it 2 thumbs up. Yeah, and I also believe the CDC too, huh? So, all right, doctored videos, AI, blah, blah, blah. Supposedly, I got a security camera here in Texas that is capturing a skinwalker. Huh? Oh, what? I mean, I've heard of them, but now you're going to tell me that this... All right, I'm just going to let you watch the video. You tell me what you think in the comments, because I'll tell you what I think right after. Now, mind you, I know AI is real. The angle of the camera looks a little off. The gentleman himself, I think from that angle, looks shorter than he should. And at the very end of that video, it really did look like the dog was going to bite him, indicating that the old man, you know, was like, get away from me. This could totally be doctored. But if you just watch the video, right? You just watch the video. Is it not fucking creepy if this was true? But again, I don't believe in this type of shit. I don't. I absolutely do not believe this video. But is it not creepy and super fun? Like, what would that be like? Imagine that. And what would you have to do right? Because he probably heard somebody walking up to the door, so he changed into the dog. Well, how do I get him to change back? Right? It would be so cool if that kid, like, saw him changing, came into the house and just started, like, prodding it at the dog, trying to get him to change back. Now, that would have been comical. But do I really believe that this camera in Texas caught an actual shapeshifter? No, but it's super creepy and fun. It's super creepy. So now we're putting masks on humanoid robots. So those rubber masks that everybody's like, the lizard people are wearing, right? The lizard people are wearing masks, and they're hiding in plain sight. And we have these masks that can make anybody look like anybody, right? We've seen the Joe Biden one. We've seen this one. We've seen a few of them on here. I can't remember all the names, but I've seen a few of them. I've talked about a few of them. Let me say that. And now we're using those masks on humanoids. So super fun, everybody. Check this out, dude. It's creepy. Pushing the boundaries of what humanoid robots can be, not just in functionality. Okay, so this is actually playing the Terminator music, and I cannot play that at all. So here we go. They are now showing a humanoid. There's two humans. The human is holding the head of the robot. The other human is stretching one of those latex realistic masks over the humanoid's head. They're slowly pulling it down over the humanoid's head. They're guiding it over the wires. They're trying to be as careful as possible. And then they are going to set this thing in place around the humanoid's head. And once they get everything into place, this is so creepy, dude. This is so creepy. Yep, they're stretching it. They're getting it. Oh, look at that. It's falling into place. Oh, my God. That is so creepy, bro. Oh, wow. It's just like I always thought it would be. I'm telling you, man, this is getting scary. It's getting scary. So what did they do? Okay, so I can see it right now in the humanoid. The eyeballs are very real. So if you get that mask nice and tight. Wow. Wow. That is so crazy that a robot can now almost look like a human. We do not have much time left, people. We do not have much time left. And I swear to God, maybe, just maybe, there could be some truth to 2027 or 2030. Was this lady a robot? What happened to her? Does everybody remember the lady on the plane? Because I guess she's gone missing. I think her name was Tiffany. But I guess she's nowhere to be found. This woman who saw something on a plane.
Plane lady.
Those people aren't real?
Yeah. No one's been able to track her down, right?
No.
She just popped up this past week on TMZ.
It's basically her just saying, I apologize, I shouldn't have done that. When I saw it, I was like, that doesn't look like her. We didn't know who she was for the first couple of weeks. Like, they couldn't even find a name or anything. She started a new Twitter account when she posted this video. The first person
Tiffany
she followed
Gomez.
was TMZ. So people started doing like some AI face detection. There's this guy that does it online professionally, and he says you get a score of 0.6 or below, it is the same person. He put the videos that were on the plane, videos that were outside the plane of the real Tiffany.
And it's not her.
1.2. I was like, I was not expecting this. I was like, actually, he's like, this makes me really interested.
Wow.
Then one other dude goes on and checks her IP address that she sent out from the video. Okay. Guess where it tracked to?
TMZ headquarters.
Texas. Away from the White House.
What?
In Washington, D.C.
Stop it right now!
So did she see something, and then they put in a double to be like, this was so embarrassing.
Weird. You know what?
What? Holy shit, dude. So, did she actually see something? Her IP address was from Washington? Now she's missing? And supposedly somebody who really does dig into these deep fakes, which we need somebody to do that today. We're going to have to build an algorithm for this shit. But if you get a 0.6 or below, it's that person. And those numbers were over 1 point something. So it was not her. What did she see? Where did she go? And what are they hiding from us? What are they hiding? Did she see a shapeshifter? Is it possible? I mean, wouldn't that be... I've never thought they're actually real. But why would she go missing? Why would there all of a sudden, after so long of a disappearance, why would there finally be an apology? Because they needed to close it. They needed to close the whole thing and make this go away. And instead of doing that, by putting out this video, now we're all digging into it. So I just think it's funny. The more they try to cover up, the more they expose. The more they expose. And you want to talk about being exposed? Here we go. Though they want total control through your ID. Now, I got the real ID a long time ago. Right? I figured we all had to get on board. There was no way of getting an actual license anymore without getting into the real ID. So, I mean, if I want to be a functioning part of society, I don't think I have a choice in whether or not I can have this real ID. So I just opted into it a long time ago. Now they're making it mandatory. Everybody's going to have it. But I think that this is very interesting, and we all should take a listen because it's just the first step. And they've been taking a lot of steps to get to what I've been talking about on this podcast for months now. And it looks like this is more of a giant step than I thought it was. But let's listen.
And so there are about 110 million Americans who have not chosen to do the real ID, and all 110 of them and everybody else should choose never to do the real ID. If you already have one, if you've got a gold star on, go and get a standardized driver's license.
Now, I just want to put out the simple fact that I can't get that, right? You can't buy the traditional license anymore. So when she brings that part up, I was like, where do you get that? Where do you get it? Because most of our states, our towns, the town hall, the DMVs, whatever, they've done away with it. It's all real ID everywhere now. They've actually said that wasn't it supposed to go into effect where everybody's supposed to have it by like the end of this year? So where do you buy an original driver's license if the DMV doesn't offer it? That was the one question I really did have for this video. And I wanted you to have it before I continue because I don't want you to think you might be able to go buy it because I don't think they exist.
If you're afraid of flying, go get your passport. But do not take the real...
Now, real quick, I'm going to interrupt it again. The passport, okay, so the real ID, if you don't know anything about it, will allow you to travel to connecting continents, right? Connecting, they have to be touching us by land. It will allow you to cross that border. If you want to fly and go to a country that's not touching us by land, you still need your passport. The real ID doesn't trump that, according to everything that I've read. So again, you still need a passport to go to a country that's not connecting land to us. But if it's a country that the land is connecting, the real ID will let you cross the border. That's everything I've read. That's from the DMV in the state of New Hampshire. I don't know if there's something else out there, but you are still going to need your passport if you want to travel outside of the country to a country that's not touching us by land, okay? I just wanted to clarify that because I was like, no shit. You have to get a passport anyways still.
Real ID. Because the whole idea here, the state of Pennsylvania asked Trump to shut down this program.
Yep.
They called it a usurpation of states' rights.
Yep.
The federal government has taken over driving and identification over the entire country. And they're going to take all of your primary identification documents and keep them for themselves. You're going to have to give them your social security number, your birth certificate, and your marriage certificate, and they will hold them. They've never had them before. You are essentially recertifying yourself as an American, and then they want to put this and digitize it, put it on your phone, and be able to shut down your access anytime you do something they don't like. This is not a simple ID card, and this is probably going to move into the global UN identification system that the UN wants to create for the entire world. This is your opportunity to shut this down.
I don't think this is the opportunity to shut it down. Look, there might be a few states out there that are trying to shoot this down, which will make the process take a little bit longer. But there's 50 states. So if you've got 49 on board, it's not going to be tough to flip the last one. You know what I mean? How many states right now are not implementing the Real ID? That's the question. I'll tell you. Hold on. How many states are not implementing the Real ID? All states right now are issuing Real ID. They're all offering it. So as of April 2025, about 60% of the country's driver's license are now Real IDs. So we're at 60%. So there's 40% out there that either their birthday hasn't showed up yet or they're not due to renew their ID. So that 40% by the end of this year will probably be 15%. And then you're going to have the people going into the next year that probably have expiring licenses. So that last 15% will take a little bit longer, but by the end of 2027, everybody should be converted. And that's just the way it's going to be. You're not going to be able to stop this. There's certain things we just have no control over. And I got to push back a little bit. I got to push back a little bit on her because I'm sorry. I've asked for a normal one, and they don't offer it anymore. So you can't buy something that they're not offering. You know what I mean? So the only way to get an old driver's license, and I'm not saying to go do this because it is highly illegal and it's a federal crime, but you would actually have to print one yourself. You'd have to make an old license yourself. Be the only way to do it with all of your updated information on it. By the time that they flip it to 75%, they will make them 100% mandatory. The old driver's licenses will never exist again through the system. And that's all you're going to be able to do. So everybody will be on the Real ID. There's no control in this, everybody. We would like to think that we have some type of control of the situations that we are all involved in, but guess what? We don't. We don't have any control except for maybe certain things in our own lives. But even then, I find it to be out of control most of the time. All right? Well, this has been a very, very fun podcast for me. I hope you had fun as well. But now, I's got to get going, everybody. So, I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers out there. That's right, all of you. Thank you. I appreciate you, truthfully. I really, really do. You're the reason I keep coming back week after week. If you're new, pop by, checking it out, subscribe. Want your opportunity to tell your story, be a guest? talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. Linktree in the description below the video, along with all of today's links discussed on this podcast. So go check them out, dig into everything, and I hope everybody out there has an amazing Thursday. I hope you enjoy your weekend. And as always, I will talk to you next week.